Well, I already have one amazing granola recipe on this channel. It's a cinnamon almond granola. Go check that one out if you haven't before after this video. But stay for this video because I'm getting a little low and I need to make it again. It is a Copycat, Trader Joe's Copycat ginger almond cashew granola. And it is, oh my gosh, so good. You're gonna love it. There's that sweet, salty, spicy from the ginger. So much flavor in this granola. My original granola recipe only calls for 6 cups of oats, and you're welcome to make it that way if you like. But if you have a family, I would highly encourage you to double this recipe. This is 12 cups of oats, and I know it seems like a lot of granola, but honestly, we go through this so quickly.
Okay, so in my bowl, I already have 12 cups of rolled oats. This would work with gluten-free oats as well, but it does not work very well with quick oats or instant oats. It still works, it's just not quite the same. And to that, you're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt, which I know seems like an excessive amount of salt, but you have 12 cups of oats here, guys. That's a lot. And then all of our flavor, which comes from 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 1 tablespoon of cardamom. Now, if you're not used to using cardamom, it's a spice you typically used in Indian cooking, and it has a really fruity, sort of spicy, fresh flavor. And that's what really gives this granola a unique flavor, and it's so good. And it's actually in the Trader Joe's granola that I'm doing a copycat of here. And then to that, add a half a cup of packed brown sugar and mix it all really well, because you don't want to get like a bite of brown sugar or like a big section that has a bunch of salt in it, because that's not very enjoyable. And then you're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla, which I always eyeball because I just love vanilla, so a little extra is never a bad thing. And 1 1/3 cups of coconut oil. This just gives it a really rich flavor, and I usually microwave that for like 30 to 45 seconds. And then we're going to add our honey, which gives it a little extra sweetness. It also kind of holds it together. So that's really the glue that's holding your granola together. The brown sugar adds a little bit of sweetness, but the honey just kind of makes everything all together in those great clusters that you like with granola. Make sure this is mixed in really, really well, and it's really evenly distributed across all of your granola so that it bakes evenly.
Okay, our granola is all mixed up and ready to go in the oven. We're gonna divide this amongst 3 baking trays or cookie sheets, because if you do it too thick, it doesn't get crunchy, and to me that kind of defeats the purpose. It's just kind of soft and chewy, which is more like a granola bar rather than granola. So you're gonna wanna take your 2 or your cookie sheets. I only have 2, so I have to do this in 2 batches, but it's not a big deal because it doesn't take a long time. My cookie sheets are old and ugly and gross, but it doesn't matter because I use either a silicone baking mat or some parchment. I like this one. I got it off of Amazon. It is not bleached and it doesn't have any chemicals or anything else on it, like no coating, which is really hard to find in my grocery stores. So I will link this one down below in case you're interested and you can't find good parchment in your stores either.
I just put about 1/3 of the granola on each tray and spread that out, and just make sure that you use like a spoon, or you can even use your hand, and just spread it out so it's really evenly distributed. That is one of the most important things about baking this granola and making sure that it gets crunchy. We're gonna bake this at 325 for 15 minutes.
While I'm waiting for my oven to preheat, which I should have done sooner, but I forgot. So while I'm waiting for that so I can stick my granola in, I'm gonna prepare my almonds and my cashews and my ginger.
We're using 1 cup of roasted salted cashews, and just chop them kind of coarsely. They don't have to be a specific size. And for my almonds, I'm using 1/2 cup of slivered almonds, and I bought those pre-slivered so I didn't have to mess with them. The candied ginger, I'm not gonna lie, is kind of a pain to chop up because it sticks to the knife, but just do your best and cut it up into little small pieces. Once your 15 minutes has come up, give both your trays a stir and then top them with 1/3 of the nuts and reverse the trays and then bake them for 10 minutes more. Once I've pulled out the granola and it's sat for about 20 or 30 minutes is when I add the candied ginger on top, and you are done. And look at all of that goodness, all ready for breakfast or a quick snack or to take up for school lunches. maybe add it to a parfait or on top of a smoothie bowl. It is so good. And as you can see, it just breaks apart in these perfect little granola clusters. Now, if you haven't checked out my cinnamon almond granola recipe, which is the original one, make sure you go watch that one next. And don't forget, if you're looking for more breakfast ideas, I have 2 different videos all about healthy, high protein breakfasts.